Okay, well, welcome, Ashley, to another talk about some cool stuff we got going on here, and we want to share with everyone who's watching. We both have our little decorative earrings on. Oh, did you take yours off?
Yes.
Come on, put your decorative earrings back
Okay.
on. So, we're going to talk to you and teach you about the iDoc AccuLife Electro-Acupressure device because, like, one thing I've learned about the body, of going to med school, understanding traditional Chinese medicine, being trained in traditional Chinese medicine, is that we store everything in our bodies. We store our emotions, our thoughts, our physical debris, like things we've taken. We store it, we store it, we store it. We're like a sponge. And our meridians, which have been well documented, so these are acupuncture meridians, the traditional Chinese medicine is thousands of years old. And we now have like actual MRI proof that these are not just some sort of idea. They exist in our bodies. We have these meridians, and we have to unblock ourselves. So one thing that's become really, really super clear to me, and I know that you totally understand this too, is that when we are congested in these meridians, when we are blocked, you can take all the things, the supplements and all the stuff, but you got to move that. Like you cannot stay stuck. It's like think of a stagnant pond, right? What's going to happen in a stagnant pond? You're going to get, blooms of algae. You're going to get mosquitoes breeding. You're going to get all kinds of different smells and bacteria and gases and stuff. And healthy flow. But when you have a river and everything's like getting filtered and everything is able to get where it needs to go, you have energy, you have, frequency, you have magnetics like happening in that flow, electromagnetics. So it's the same with us. And so we're going to talk today. Ash is going to teach you how to use this device. We're going to talk about what it's for, and we're going to go through, I'll go through after like some of the meridians, and where they are, and what's important about accessing them. And like some people spend a lot of money just going to acupuncture. I mean, I'm trained in acupuncture. I would have clients come do acupuncture on them. They lay there for an hour with the needles in them or whatever, and you're charging 120 $150 like each time you go. Meanwhile, you can, pay up front for a device that's very affordable, and then you can treat all the meridians or the ends of the meridians, or we'll talk about hands and feet and ears and stuff, where it has the whole body connected to it. There's many ways you can treat now, and it's ultimately something you can do at home for yourself. And I'm on it right now because at the beginning, Ash said that if I put the ear clips on, that this supports the vagus nerve and can put you into parasympathetic mode, which we all need these days, especially. So, anyway, welcome, Ash. Thanks for coming on again with me, and let's get into it.
Great to be back. So, would you like me to show you what comes in the box?
Yeah, let's go through what the goodies are in here, what they're for. I'm gonna run mine on 15 minutes right now and not touch any computer equipment while I'm doing so. There it is. And it's a
Okay, so
really
this is
nice
the box.
light device too. It's not heavy.
No, it's not. Okay, so this is the device. Um, it can. I run mine because I don't want to be wide up. I run mine with three AAA batteries, rechargeable batteries. But it does come with a USB
Yeah,
wire.
that's this one. That's what I have plugged in. I've got it
Yeah,
USB plugged in. Yeah.
which one of the things I love about this is because it's USB, there's not different plugs for different countries, like before. So it's just one size fits all. Um, we have a little package here. I won't open that, but basically that has got your map of the hand,
Mm-hmm.
your reference guide, um, And it also has a book with a few protocols in
Mm-hmm.
for different various conditions.
Yep.
We have a few packets of the electrodes.
Yep.
And I actually reuse my one for me, because you can just rinse it with water and the sticky comes back. So you can get quite a lot of use out of just one electrode. And then this is the mains plug. And we have, I'll show you mine. This is the probe. So instead of the needles, obviously this is non-invasive and it's like an electroprobe. And this is what you detect and relieve with. You also have a thing so you can wear it around your neck or on the move. And once you've found the area that you want to treat, this is really good. This, I mean, it looks like a stapler, but it's actually a clip with a probe inside.
Yeah.
So you can just clip it on.
Let's see if I
And then
can
you've
get
got
it.
one hand free.
Beep, 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 beep. Little Pac-Man here.
Oh, and not forgetting these ear clips to stimulate the vagus nerve. Very
Perfect.
simple, this
Yeah, it
device.
is. It's really, yeah, it's not complicated.
No,
You can intuitively even figure out the buttons just pressing them. I didn't even have to read the manual to like press around and figure that out.
it just has two functions on there and that's it.
Hmm.
Detect, relieve. So very, very easy to use anywhere in the world.
So, detecting, what are you looking for when you're detecting, and how do
So,
you know where to detect?
so you literally just, I will show you a demo, but you're just literally just tracing all around the area and you will feel the blockage, because where the frequency is trying to get into the meridian and there's a blockage, it bounces it back. So it kind of vibrates and causes like a prickly or like a vibration. It can make you jump sometimes. But then what I do is I get a Sharpie and I make a dot on that place. And then I work my way all around the hand. And then I go back to those areas and with it on the relieve mode. And I just either hold it, or if I'm going to do like a full 15 minutes on one area, I will just clip it on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was doing someone's hand, tracing it, and they will quite jump that when you get to the
Yeah,
spot. I noticed because it'll
yeah,
be a little tingly. It's a little bit tingly, right? Like do do
yeah,
do do do, and then they'll go, oh my, and like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that'll be the point to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, sometimes as you work that area, it kind of disappears, which
Hmm.
means it wasn't really that much of a blockage. Whereas if you've got like a chronic condition, then it almost feels like it's quite strong for the whole duration. So it
Uh-huh.
just needs more work.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, I mean, it's really good if people just understand a little bit about the meridians as well.
Mm.
Like the chart that AccuLife sends is great, especially for tips of fingers, all these little areas that you can use to treat those meridians, right? Um, but also, like to understand if you have a certain health condition, then you can assume that that meridian is affected, right? Like if you have IBS or something, right? You'll probably want to treat a few of the meridians like stomach, spleen, liver, right? Those ones will be kind of top of mind. And you could go to like any end of the channel to treat the whole channel, or you can test the channel. Um, I like to use SuBook for looking at meridians. It's TSU, SuBook. It's just a free app you can get, and you can see all the meridians, and then you can treat from there if you don't want to just do like hand points. Um, if you're really getting into it, because I always want to feel the meridian as it is, so like, the heart, pericardium, and lung are here, and they run up and down the arm. So you can treat anywhere in the like anywhere, sorry, in the crevice of the shoulder, or of the elbow or the shoulder or the wrist or the fingers, like anywhere along that meridian, which is wonderful that we have those options. But you can then look up that point, like say you scan all those points along a meridian, you're like, whoa, heart 5, I'm really feeling it. You could go as far as looking up the conditions and the situations of heart 5, and you would get even more insights about what's going on in your body. So, like anything that's going to connect us and make us understand what's happening to ourselves and having clarity is the path towards recovery, and reconciliation of these imbalances. So, this is a really simple way to access using electricity, which is quite tingly. I only have it at 1. I'd like to meet someone where it like goes up to whatever. What's the max there? Like,
Yeah, it goes up to 15.
oh my
I've
God.
not got past 3.
Yeah.
I've got up to 4 with these, but I think the more unblocked it becomes, the higher you can set it. And they do say that start with 1, but if you've got a guy's hands and he's kind of like a manual worker, do it on 2, because if it's not high enough, you won't feel it. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit like massage. If you massage lightly, you don't feel the knots. So you have to put a bit of pressure in to actually find the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could really walk around with it as like a weapon if you needed to,
Yeah, taser.
like a taser. Have it on 15 and go, and when you're walking at night,
Yeah.
that person's gonna jump. And then the vagus nerve, that was great advice to suggest, because this is like a way to calm the F down. Uh and digest. Like this is your rest. Vagus nerve is rest and digest. It's, all your sensory transmissions. So we get really overloaded with sensory input, and we can be like lose visceral control of things, which is also respond like the vagus nerve control, which is the 10th cranial nerve. It's like the biggest nerve in our bodies, and it runs through the lungs, it runs through the gut. It has a lot of actions. So if you're not digesting well, or you have any type of lung issues, I see this a lot with people who have dry cough, or they had something when they haven't fully recovered from whatever it was, right? Maybe it was like some sinus thing, or they were vomiting, whatever, and then they get this like dry cough. That's the vagus nerve through the lung and or through the gut. So people like, taking, things to suppress a cough, but the cough is coming from the nerve, so treat the nerve. And usually it's a gut problem when that happens. So again, you can like trace these meridians, and you can go, oh wait, like this isn't my lungs that's doing this. This is the vagus nerve that just happens to travel through the lung, but it's the end product in my gut that's causing this, cough, this issue. I see this a lot in children. They're like, oh, my child has a chronic dry cough. We've tried everything. They're on inhalers even. They're going down this asthma route, and it has nothing to do with the lungs directly. It has to do with the gut and something they're eating that's causing it. So, we're learning more and more about how important all these connections are in our body, how we store things in our bodies, how we need to release, and we need to unblock ourselves. So our emotions get stored there. Like as you unblock, you could have a thought maybe that, or a memory, something you haven't thought of before for a long time, something like this. But that's odd. why is that, coming to the forefront? Or you might feel emotional. But ultimately, all those things are stored in that space. And we need to clean ourselves and clear ourselves because it's really easy to get blocked up. You get blocked up from emotion, you get blocked up from a thought form, you get blocked up from a physical substance in the area. And this will unblock all of those things.
There was a lady who she lost her sense of smell for 40 years. And she used the ear clips for 15 minutes a day, and she has got her smell back.
Wow, 40 years. Wow.
40 years. When she was giving birth, her husband went off and had a smoke, and he came back, and as he hugged her, she just got this waft of like smoky, tobacco-y smell. And I think it her body, like, because she was giving birth, it just kind of shut that off
Mm-hmm.
because she was so repulsed. I don't know, but it never came back for 40 years until she started using the ear clips.
Sounds like, again, a nervous system
Mm.
reaction, right? Like this can't be in my body right now, whatever this is.
Yeah.
So the body puts out a big fat no, can't have it. And then the body just gets stuck. It's just stuck there, right? It's like it never recovered for whatever reason. Could be a nutritional problem, could be the thought form keeps repeating, could be like, yeah, like internal judgment about smoking or something where it's keeps feeding the blockage. But I tell you, the
Mm.
more and more I learn about this amazing body of ours, the more I realize that it really comes down to how we hold our holding patterns, and how we just trip ourselves up ultimately. We don't clean it up properly. We're so easy to put the garbage in the mouth and on the skin and in the air, it seems so easy to do it and to get it in you, and yet so difficult to get it like out and original like blueprint being reset. Like how does that even happen? It seems like it takes so much energy to do it, and why we have to really go after it on purpose. As much as we have natural cleansing systems, we don't live in a natural world anymore. Like this is just not, it's not normal. We ultimately wouldn't need much of anything if we left well enough alone, but here we
Yeah.
are, right? I mean, people are stressed on top of all the other poisons they're being exposed to. This has implications and repercussions on our body. And then the hormone factor as well. Like if hormones as our messengers are not able to communicate through the body using the meridians, how is the message, from one area of the body going to get to the other area of the body? Like it's lightning fast speed, but it still travels along these electrical routes. So we're using electricity to unblock this trapped debris that allows, once again, the natural electricity to flow in our bodies. And this is how it works. This is how we work, through the messaging of water, through the information that water allows, because that's the structured water is what allows the electricity to move through all these spaces. Imagine you got real dirty water. What's going to happen? It's not going to flow. You're not going to get electrical impulses coming through. So we're figuring it out. we're we're getting. Oh, it's that's already 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do another one, another round.
You feeling
Good. Yeah.
nice and relaxed?
Relaxed. I'm glad I'm not too relaxed, like in my bowels or anything, 'cause that could be awkward. And I'm
Well,
not
it
nat.
definitely helps with that.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. And I'm
I've
not.
had friends, sorry,
You've
go
had
on,
friends what?
say to me, I haven't stopped since you
Oh,
did that on me
well,
because it
most
gets
people are
everything
full of
moving.
that. Yeah, well, but like you see people walking with big guts, like really big guts. They're they are layered with crap. Like literally, they have so much stored inside of them, and that's like an easy in the abdomen. It's really easy just to shove extra junk in there, right? And it's like not as considered as dangerous as putting it into vital organs. So just to
Yeah.
shove it into the omentum and everything in there. and uses fat to store a lot of toxins. And then you get things moving and it's like, ooh, can we poop now? Can we get this stuff out through the liver finally? Nice. I'm sure that in this case, you see a lot of weight loss from this using this
Yeah.
device because
Hmm.
it makes sense, right? You put pack on weight to store the toxins. That's a protective measure. The metabolism will slow down accordingly. And now you start opening that up, unblocking everything. You're going to drop weight. Your body doesn't need to do that. Not only that, but like your cortisol levels are going to normalize. And, if your cortisol is running high, you tend to pack on weight also and get that like moon shaped face, that cortisol face. So this is really a way to like lose weight, balance yourself out.
What's the
I
moon
bet,
shaped face?
yeah, like when you have high cortisol, the shape of your face becomes more rounded, more moon-like.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It's where it's packing on inflammation in the body. So there's like a tell when there's high cortisol in the face, like the face will show. You can do face
Right.
reading and get a lot of cool information
Mm. I've
from
got a book on
people.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
So I
Yeah.
mean, unblocking, unburdening ourselves is kind of key where we're at right now in our world. People have
Mhm.
like made mistakes where they've gotten shots and that's a way to block up
Yeah.
severely, and it's just a ticking time bomb, these people. So it's really, this is a device and a way to get some of this stuff moving. I've had people where they're, the magnet will stick, like they got a shot and then a magnet will stick there, or even like the Bluetooth
Spoon.
signals. Yeah, and then but then if you use this device over it and you clear it, um it's gone. Like it's not there anymore.
This has
So
been particularly helpful for people that have had strokes.
mhm. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
almost like reconnects things that have disconnected.
Yeah. Now you use that in combination with DMSO for a stroke, you've got like a really strong protocol there to repair. You don't need any of their little pills, which are suppressive, right? We're learning that we want to that health is expression. I've been teaching this for a long time. Health is release, right? It's not bottling up and it's not like swallowing things so that the signals go away. That's not health. And the more you do that, the more blocked up you get. And as we understand this, we want to release, we want to relieve. And connection is how we do it. And this is how we're connecting. This is one very powerful way to reconnect yourself to yourself. Because
Mm.
these roads, like any road, can get debris and can get broken and not communicating. Now, this has application for pets also, yeah?
I
Like,
was
have you?
just about to say that. I
Yeah,
did it on my dog,
nice.
and honestly, he looked zonked out. I was like, he looks so relaxed. It's like his eyes just rolled back. He was so relaxed. So yeah, you can use it on pets.
What protocol did you use? Like, did you use the
I, d-
little
I use
clips?
these. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
clip on his ears. Yeah.
I'm doing that on my cat tonight.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah, I just kept it on low. I just kept it on one.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to bother him. He was just really, really relaxed.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
I haven't braved that path yet.
So you've used it on yourself. You've tried it on yourself.
Yeah, oh yeah.
How did you get on?
I did the scan on my hands just to see what was going on. I noticed for me I needed to use a lot of it on the meridians right at the end of my fingertips. I felt that a lot. So I was like, "Oh, maybe cuz people get Raynaud syndrome, they get problems with
Mm,
circulation, hands and feet, especially feet." And So if someone has a diabetic condition, they're not getting blood flow to the feet, or they're having fungus, which is another sign there's not proper blood flow going on, then this is where I would use the device a lot. Um, but that's what I felt with my, like for me, was doing a
Mm,
lot of the hands. And then I do like the ear clips. I think that's a great, I like to work a lot and do a lot of things. So you can like pack this on, especially if you have the batteries in it, right? Plop it
mm.
on and I can make soap or do something with it
Yeah,
on.
you can put this around your neck
Yeah, I have
and
this
go about
device
your
too.
day.
Yeah, exactly. Just go about your day and keep rolling it. So you can really manage a lot of your stress this way, which
Mm,
seems to be top priority these days
mm.
in our world. Stress management, because I don't know if you've found it, but I found people are a little more grumpy these days. Like they're just not as kind or
Yeah,
compassionate, and it's just that what's happened is people are stressed out and they have a lot of trauma and they have a lot of things that are they're worried about, and it's
yeah,
really easy to just project that stuff, right?
yeah,
Like someone comes at you, you're in high cortisol, like you're in fight or flight mode, and then somebody says something, it's so easy for you to get triggered because like you just can't handle one more thing, and then somebody says
mm,
the thing and it's just so easy to go blah, 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 and just throw it all over them. So I'm seeing a lot of trigger happy people these days. And
yeah,
this, is one way you can get a hold of your stress response and
mm,
feel more regulated so you can greet people from your heart. You can feel like a little more like if you meet someone at a regulated state, it really helps them to become regulated, right?
mm.
And but if we energy match them where that's at, that can get scrappy quick.
Yeah. Fire with fire.
Yeah. And we have to like now, I mean, everything that I'm trying to do is like, where am I as a leader in trying to motivate people to also be that, be the leader, regulate yourself, self-discipline, um, how to heal all of these, brain states and emotional states. Like I've been through the ringer lately, and that's my Chiron. My Chiron path is Aries, so it comes really that's the wounded healer, and it's like boom, it just comes really fast and heavy when my lessons come, but I understand them because as I heal from my experiences, I gain the tools and awareness to help others. And that's
Mm,
how my path's always been. So as much as like I could be thrown into trauma and stress and like my mind goes all wherever, I know that there's purpose for it. And everything that everybody's going through ultimately is supposed to be purposeful, right? Like why you're feeling a certain way or why you're stuck in a pattern is trying to show you something. It's not meant for you to stay stuck forever and suffer like ongoing forever. You are meant to achieve something through it and find like grace and gratitude and resolve, right? So, like people who are feeling really stuck and really frustrated right now, this is something really easy that you can do. You can just use electroacupuncture on yourself,
yeah,
like, and unblock so much that you're storing. And it's normal, like if you are using it and you feel emotional, just allow that emotion. Like if you feel like crying, just cry. Like allow yourself to feel, right?
yeah,
Because people run away from the sensations. They're like, I don't like the sensation. I don't like the sensation. Run, run, run. Well,
yeah.
I think this is a nice and gentle way to like bring up sensations that are manageable for people. Because I found when I was doing it on my hands, like I felt good. Like I didn't feel triggered or, I didn't have like a big upheaval. It's not like my experiences doing like ayahuasca or phytolagin that I just came out of, right? Like that's really intensive stuff and you're processing really quickly. But this is especially for people who are full up. Like, you'll see a grandparent, they're in a wheelchair, they've got prostate issues, or they've already had a hysterectomy, or like they've had a lot of stuff done to them. This is a really safe, gentle way to, get them unblocked without having to go to an acupuncturist and get, needles and stuff done. So I've been looking for one of these devices, excuse me, for a long time, because being trained and understanding this medicine, it's not always practical, obviously, to get the needles out. So to have this is so it's like perfect. I mean, anybody can do this without
Mhm.
issue. A child can do this.
Well, you can actually use it on children from age 3, I believe. So there's hardly any contraindications. Obviously, pacemaker is a no-no, pregnancy, but it's such a safe thing that you can help people with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That you can treat an animal or a child with or an elder with, and they're not going to be thrown into like, you know, healing crisis energy. It's good. Yeah.
You can also, so I'll show you in a minute, like how to do it, but
Mhm.
because it's got a detect function on there, you can pick things up. It's like early detection. So it can show you something before it's even manifested into a physical condition. So that's also really helpful.
Oh, wow. So it's picking up
Early
on the
detection.
subtle, yeah,
Yeah,
subtle, the blockages that are starting
yeah,
that haven't developed like full-blown symptoms in your body
mhm,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're able to treat them before they even become a thing.
Yeah. No, that's really, really key. Don't touch anything while it's running. I'm like, oh, I'll just get that dust off. I'm like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh, ugh." So don't. Although it's kind of a fun feeling, actually. I can get into this.
Little buzz. Do you want me to
Yeah.
show you how to do it? Shall I show the viewers how to do the treatment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to take these off. I've got my AAA batteries in the back, so I don't need a wire.
How many does it take? 2 or 3?
3,
Okay.
and I use rechargeable ones. So
Yeah.
you just put the probe in the top there, and you put an electrode on your left arm. You can actually do this on the feet as well, but it's just easier on the hand. And I've
Yeah.
even done it on my right hand, and it weirdly was the same. Picked up the same stuff.
Yeah.
And then you just attach that clip onto the electrode. And then turn the device on here. And then when it turns on, it's automatically in detect mode on level 1, start low. So you press start in the middle, and then you just test it here. Is this the one that you meant? Is it Shaoshang Acupoint?
Yeah. Where are you at? Tip of your thumb?
Yeah, here. To feel that sensation. So that's where I always check first, that people can feel that. And if they can't, I would turn it up to 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's lung. Well, at the base of it, on the inside, or sorry, on the outside of the thumb corner, that's lung 11.
Okay. So once you've done here and they know what to feel for, you then just literally just trace around the whole hand, even down here, or like the fingers, just all over, and you will feel like a buzz, like a prickle. And then what I do is I get a Sharpie, and wherever I feel something, I put a dot. And you just literally go all over. So like you've got all the spine here. It's a little bit like reflexology, like the mat. It's
Hmm.
similar to reflexology. Um, so yeah, I would just go over the whole hand and just mark it out. And then when you've done that, you can then put it into relieve mode, which is just a press of a button into relieve mode. You can treat each area between 15, between 5 and 15 minutes, and you can do the whole thing for an hour, but you can do that twice a day.
Hmm.
So what I tend to do is I just go for the ones that were like the strongest sensation.
Hmm.
And you kind of find that when some of them disappear, the others have as some of the others have as well, because they're obviously on the same meridian line, maybe.
Yeah, well, you have your major meridians that you can eat, like on the Tsu book that I was saying, right? You'll see all the major meridians, but there are deeper meridians that are interconnected as well as those, and then there are other little subtler ones too. So whatever is all around that area, the little nadis or sections that come off into the other areas of the body
Yeah.
obviously will be affected, by
Mm.
that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So some will just go. Like some people say, "Oh, I can't feel that anymore."
Yeah.
Um, and I like to give them the probe because they can feel more than me, because obviously it's their hand,
Yeah.
and they can either just hold hold the probe on that area between 5 and 15 minutes, or as I said, you can use this instead, that's got a probe, and then just clip it on where you've done the dot. And you can do this a couple of times a day, so an hour twice a day.
Easy.
Easy.
And it
um
builds up. It'll build up too, like over time. Um, Nice and gentle approaches
yeah.
here. Yeah.
And then you have the ear clips, as we said, to stimulate the vagus nerve, which you put on the relieve mode as well. It's really helping people with their sleep. It's helping with digestion. It's helping anxiety, depression. Um, it helps with so many things, migraines. Um, what else did I say? Yeah, regulates emotions. Oh, especially good for seizures. So helping
Mm.
epilepsy, people with epilepsy with having seizures.
Hmm.
Lowers the heart rate, reduces inflammation. There's just so many things that these do.
That's a great point, though, because there's not a lot that treats epilepsy, you know, like
Mm,
full on. An electrical device would make sense for
yeah,
treating an electrical disease.
treat like we
Um,
like.
Treat like with like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. We're really getting to our answers of health now, I feel,
Mm,
We're getting really cool technologies and knowledge. Um, I just did half an hour as we were talking.
nice.
I know, feel fantastic.
Feel good.
I'll I think I'll put these on my daughter after we're done.
Yeah. And your pets.
Yeah, well, I have, I've many of my people who follow my work, they know that I rescued like two cats from my brother who died in April, and his cats were extremely traumatized, and they communicate with their rear end a lot with urine, and it's been quite challenging. They really need peace. If everything is very calm and very peaceful, they hardly do it. But any little change or whatever, it's too stressful for them. They
Mm,
can't like I was saying, how when you're so stressed you can't handle one thing, they're like
yeah.
that. So I'm gonna sneak this on them
Yeah.
wherever I can and see if it affects how many times they urinate or not, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, be a great study.
I'm pretty sure I read that the vagus nerve does affect urine output
Hmm.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for them it's not even like a year like about urine or pee, like it's about their behavior of how they communicate. Like they literally message with urine. Like they're like, I'm not happy about this thing. I'm going to pee in this area to inform you that I don't like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah,
So, so,
I look
yeah.
forward to hearing the results on that.
Yeah, I will. I can see at least one of my cats getting right into this for sure.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
other
Good.
one, this more skittish one, might take a little bit of coaxing, but yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, there's so few things we have for our animals. I like it's very limited. We do have a lot, but I feel like it's compared to what humans have, it's
Yeah.
it's more limited.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, with the iTerracare wand, my cats don't care anymore. I can wand them. I can have it on. I can have it on full blast. They're totally cool with it
Really.
now, which is, yeah, it took a while, but now they're like, whatever. She's doing that weird thing again with her, with her, with her blow dryer, right? And
Uh,
so this be the same thing. Just touch it with. I would say touch it to them, clip it on them without any electricity first. Just let them get used to the touch of it
yeah.
and then introduce the electricity once they're totally regulated.
Yeah. That you just reminded me that is another thing you can do with this probe. If it's when you're trying to in the relieve mode, if it's
Yeah.
too much because it's quite a big blockage, you can just start just by just tapping it because you're trying to unblock the meridian. And if
Okay.
it's on the lowest setting and you're like, oh, that's I can't really handle that, it's too much.
Hmm.
Um, you can start just with a tap and then just increase it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Um,
But it comes with a 2-year warranty.
hmm.
Um,
That's pretty good.
it is good actually, and you have to use well in the UK you have to use a V51A adapter for it to be
Mm,
covered on the warranty. I
okay.
don't know what it's like there, but this is like an old iPhone adapter.
Okay.
So it's important in the UK to use this to be covered by your warranty.
Got
But
it.
this is, I mean, we're coming up to Christmas. This would be an amazing. I've already got people saying I'm going to get it for my mum, like for Christmas. Um, it's another one of those things like every household really should do with one.
Yeah. And like there's so with this company there's like opportunity as well, right? Like the same
Yes,
thing with the iTerracare wand, which we've talked about before.
correct.
Um, which it has like a business aspect to it if people, because this is what happens and I know from like my own life, is I find something that's cool and it works and I like it and I start talking about it and then people want the thing. It's just natural.
Yeah.
So the structure of these companies is that you can benefit from that. Like you can get,
Yes.
you can be the like, because you're not selling, you're literally just telling people
Yeah.
and showing them and then they want it. And so you're like, okay, cool, I can do that. You don't have to, which is nice, um but it's there, as an opportunity,
Yeah.
as a way to earn, as a way to like get your product basically for free after,
Yeah.
a few units are gone off and stuff. So, um, I will have information obviously in this video on like how to connect, how to purchase it and everything. It's this very new company, isn't it? This, because do you
Yeah.
know?
It's.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long, but it's been in the making many years.
Right.
It's a medical device, FDA approved. It's got all the certifications, patents, and the fact that you can, diagnose is like another bonus. so many things they say you're not allowed to diagnose or you mustn't diagnose. But with this, you can diagnose.
Wow. That's kind of huge, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's like the opposite of most things that
Yeah.
are more natural or that are
Yeah.
non-suppressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it's got that approval gives more freedom to you as if you're a practitioner using it in your office, or which would be really a great application,
Mm-hmm.
or you are just doing like helping people on the side where you can, like this
Yeah.
is an easy, way to help people get
Mm-hmm.
unblocked,
Mm-hmm.
and also like how, make some money and stuff too if they want to. Just what happens is what happens with what happened with the Iteracare wand. You see it, and you're like, holy cow! Like that was the thing that unblocked my loss of taste and smell that I had for like over a
Mm-hmm.
year. That and my frozen shoulder. It was like, what? And as soon
Mm-hmm.
as you start to see results, you just want to tell people, just it's
Yeah.
natural, right? So we're trying to like help people get out of the grip of big pharma,
Yeah.
and prevent going to scary places like hospitals and doctors' offices and stuff. Like this is what I get up to do every morning anyway. It's like if I can
Yeah.
prevent one person from going to the hospital or taking a drug to suppress themselves, then I've
Yeah.
won that day.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great that we have tools. We have things that
Mm.
can work for people that's practical, because
Yeah.
this is what we do. This is the way through, right?
Mm. And I just
So
love how specific it is as well. It's like when you do it on a client, you don't really need to know about their medical history. Whereas when I've done treatments on people, like holistic treatments in the past, you go through a consultation form, like say reflexology, for example. They've already told me their medical, like their health situation. So when I start finding it in the feet, they're probably thinking, well, I've already told you that. But with this device, it is so evidence based because, like, I'll say, "Oh yeah, that's your left shoulder," and they go, "Oh yeah, no, I've got really bad," or "Oh yeah, we work that," because they can feel it, and then when I tell them what body part or which organ that is corresponding to, they're like, "Wow, yes," and it's just so accurate. I mean, I
yeah.
don't get me wrong, Iteracare is amazing, but you're kind of blowing and thinking, yeah, this is doing me good. But with this is so specific.
Yeah, like you're blowing the whole meridian, like you're opening points and stuff, but it's such a wide berth, right? So you're not able to diagnose just that
Yeah,
specifically. That'd be
yeah,
really cool to do. Use this, diagnose your spots, do these treatments, and then follow up with the wand treatment,
yeah.
to get the rest of the, because you're getting heat with that application as well, where you're
Mm.
getting more blood flow. So they would
And
complement
drinking
each
the
other.
water,
Yeah.
drinking the
Yeah.
water, because you do
Flush,
have to
flush,
drink
flush.
water after this. I
Yeah.
think they say 300 milliliters of warm water after a treatment. So if
Right.
it's structured water, even better.
Even better. Structure it with the Iteracare wand. Thing is like one thing I learned in studying Chinese medicine is that the body actually doesn't like cold. And the heat is what mobilizes, generally speaking. So I'm not saying that cold has no place, but I'm saying that in Chinese medicine they're often like talking about not drinking cold
Yeah,
water, not eating cold foods, that it's very strenuous on the kidneys and the life force to warm things back up. So especially when you are clearing blockages and releasing, you want to be take care that you're not congealing anything by challenging the body with too much cold
mhm,
energy. I was even with when I was learning the tapping techniques, you know, um, same idea goes when you're ingesting the water, or if the wind is blowing, you need to protect the back of your neck, your wind gate. And one thing that I'm researching now that blew my mind was that our body actually stores cold inside. Because you could be, and people have experienced this, you could be sweating, you could feel hot, you could be like exercising and you touch a part of your body and it's ice cold, to your
I've had
touch.
that. I've had
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cold leaving your body.
Oh, is
Okay.
it?
Yeah. It's stored cold that has been. So think about our cells as insulators because you have fat. Fat's a perfect insulator. Imagine now you have like heat shock proteins and stuff that happens when you work out, which is like great for your longevity. And then but you have like I probably we have cold shock proteins. I don't actually know because I'm just starting to research like what the hell is happening when we have cold leaving our body and where has it been stored in our body that it does that. To me, that was like a revelation to sort of clue in that we can have these different kinds of states inside our body at the same time, even though our body temperature overall has to stay, very specifically at its place or, within a few gradations. So, like the fact that I have cold stored in my kidney cells or something and it's pushing out of my body, like, seriously, that's part of stagnation as well, because there's no heat being generated in these stagnant states. So, it just makes sense about cold and Chinese medicine, how they're
Yeah.
very careful, yeah, about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah,
Traditional Chinese medicine.
there's so much to learn. I mean, this is when I studied, this was the most important study for myself going through naturopathic college. Because once I understood the connections between everything, it just made so much sense. Someone comes to you and they're like deaf, right? Or they have ear issues. Well, I'm going to look at their kidneys, their low
Mhm.
back's probably involved, their knees could be involved. And I look at all those things as one, right?
Yeah.
Where normally that's like you have a specialist, they're all focused on the ears. They're not thinking about kidneys,
Yeah.
you know? Right.
Yeah.
So
They're all compartmentalized.
right, exactly. But
Yeah.
that's not what I'm learning now. We're even more whole than we ever thought. Like mental,
Yeah.
emotional, physical is all like one, inside of us. And we have to mobilize all this stuff and clear it because this is how we build up. We just build and build and build and build. Um, but learning those connections, it's really worth it for people to understand those meridians. And if this device will help people study it a little more, look at it a little bit more. This was even my path to understanding like the false idea of germ theory, because in this ancient medicine, there's really no place for true contagion or germs causing disease. It doesn't fit the model. It's all terrain based. And even when it comes to like cold, like I was saying, like if you have your back of your neck, your wind gate exposed, and you get cold blast air there, your body can absorb that cold. And that's called wind cold invasion. It's an actual Chinese medicine
Yeah.
disease, right? And that meridian is being affected, and you need to release the cold from the body. But if this happens, this is your runny nose and sneezing and coughing and all the chesty stuff from here, from literal physical wind cold invading you. Okay. It's not
Mhm.
contagious. It's not like a weird, virus coming around and getting in there and doing those things. This
Yeah.
is from like a temperature alteration in your body, and your body's trying to now clean that out, literally unblock the debris
Yeah.
that has reacted to the cold. So yeah,
So listen to your mum and put your scarf on when you go out in the cold.
listen to your mom. She
Mums
knew.
know best.
Yeah, and even keeping the kidneys warm too, the low back.
Yeah.
Put your coat on, right? Like,
Yeah.
because the kidneys, the warmer the kidneys are, the warmer your whole body is. So if you're
Mhm.
cold in the winter, I used to make them. They're called kidney belts, and I used to make these little
Oh,
kidney belts. You just snap them on under your clothes, and you are warm all day. You don't need as many layers when you go out in the cold in the snow. You keep those kidneys warm. You're pretty warm. So back your neck and your kidneys, and you're happy winter.
Nice.
Very awesome. So yeah, this is like super simple, guys. Um this isn't rocket science. Like once you like dive into this stuff and you see all these connections, it just makes sense of what's connected and even where they are on the body, even the way they've named all the points. If you look at the words that they describe where it
Mm,
is, if it's in like a certain valley on your body or what it's interacting with, um, it's really a genius medical art. It can give
mm.
us a lot of answers and solutions. So, anything
Well, that,
else you want people to know
yeah, I
about?
mean, people can just, I've got full confidence that anybody could use this themselves at home with no training in acupuncture,
Yep.
just going by the little book
Yep.
and the little map of the hand. Because that's the thing, what this machine does, it saves you from having to know all that stuff. It just, I mean, it's good to know it, but if you don't know it, it doesn't matter. The machine kind of does it for you.
Yep.
You just know what feels uncomfortable and go back and treat that area.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
the
it'd be
great thing.
even interesting to not look at that the very first time, mark out what's sensitive, put a dot on it, and then have a look. That's the convincer.
That's a good way to go because you're not going to be influenced
Yeah,
because you already know, your own stuff to some degree,
yeah.
right? So then you're
Hmm.
not going to be biased when you're touching the
Hmm.
points. Like, oh, I know I have heart stuff. I'm going to look for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
Thing is,
science with yourself.
yeah. Thing is though, your hand doesn't lie. You either feel it or you don't. And it's
Yeah.
funny, you can feel nothing, and then you go, oh yeah, I can feel that there.
Oh, it
So
jumps.
yeah, there's no kind of, oh, is it not? It's really clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Very like simple, easy to use. I've had no issues using it. Like I haven't used it a lot because I only got it not too long ago and then I've been traveling and everything. But what I have used of it, and of course I love to use it on everybody else, but um, everybody else's feedback's been really interesting to see what's
Yeah.
blocked for them. And um, yeah, my dad comes over, I'll put it on him, or I've had friends here and I'm doing some reno, so the contractors come in,
Oh, really?
test them out. Most of
Yeah,
them have like back pain, so
yeah, yeah.
um,
Some clinics do, they offer a free diagnosis, which I think is quite good because
mhm.
then people can try it, for free,
Yeah,
and they'll realise how amazing it is by what comes up in the diagnosis. So free diagnosis, I think, is the way to go.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a great kit. It comes with everything, more than you need even really. And yeah, it's worth it. It's worth having. I mean, I would do acupuncture on myself, which wasn't always the most fun in the world. Uh, so now I don't have to do that. I can
Yeah,
go to all these points. And for longevity as well, for skincare and for youth, anti-aging stuff, because like you
definitely
could do it,
that.
yeah, points on the
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's really great. Well, thank you, Ashley. Thank you for
Thank you for
taking
having me.
the time with us and showing us this cool thing. And again, if you're interested, we'll hook you up. And we really do need solutions in this world, and this is one that's just easy peasy to get started on, and really no steep learning curve here. So, uh, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening and learning and being open minded, of course, for those who may not know about this type of information. And we'll talk to Ashley another time. And thanks again, everyone.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.